Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today we will be taking a look at the Tier 10 Premium, the AVRE, or as everybody refers to it, the AVRE. For those of you that are not familiar with my channel, I'm going to take a quick step back from this video and this review just to give you a little bit of backstory. A little bit over a year ago, I switched from being a World War II player to a Cold War player. I had about 4 years experience in World War II, and I've now got a little over a year's experience in Cold War. So yes, I have a lot more time in World War II, but it's been so long since I played World War II that I feel as though I've lost touch a little bit with what is and isn't going on in this game mode. So that's my caveat for everything that I'm about to say here. Alright, why am I telling you that? Okay, well, like I said, it's a caveat, but there's a slightly bigger reason for that, and it is that there is sometimes a squabble or a debate between World War II players and Cold War players. Which game mode is better? The vision system in Cold War, True Vision sucks, you know, and the vision system in World War II, oh, that sucks, and blah, 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 you know, we've go backwards and forwards on that all day. Today, however, I'm going to put all of that aside, and here is my reason why. You're seeing it on screen right now. The AVRE. In my, what I would call uninformed opinion, ill-informed, whatever you want to call it, in my opinion, this thing is an absolute joke, and that is coming from someone who doesn't play World War II at all, really. I mean, this game you're seeing here is the first solo game I've played in World War II in 2023, and we are just over halfway through February at this point. So, as you can see, I don't play World War II very much. Now, for me, as a non-World War II player, to jump into World War II, and this being my very first game in the AVRE, to come away from playing it, and then making this video, I'd like to think that that means something, and especially to you World War II players out there, I'd like to think that, you know, there's a little bit of understanding from, I suppose, me on the Cold War side, because playing this, I think this thing is an absolute joke for World War II, and I feel for you guys that play World War II, especially at Tier 8, especially at Tier 8, oh my goodness, I mean, you thought it was bad before, this thing, oh. Anyway, we'll circle back around to that, but let's, for now, before we start tearing the tank apart or whatever, let's take a look at the stats. Alright, so it's got 185mm of pen, and keep in mind, it's been so long since I played World War II, the only statistic that I am really aware of being ridiculous or decent or whatever it is the damage. So, 185mm of pen, I can't remember if that's good for Tier 10 or not, I'll let you decide. 1400 damage on the standard HESH rounds. That is a lot. That's Cold War 4005 numbers. 2100 hit points. Again, that might be good, that might be bad, I don't know. 50 kilometers an hour, 465 meters of view range, and 353 meters of concealment. Are those stats good? I don't know. You guys decide. But what I can tell you is that 1400 damage is a lot. That's probably an understatement. But that's not really the issue that I have with this tank. The issue I have is, like I've said before, I'm a Cold War player. If you ask me where to pen an M1A2 Abrams, I'll tell you. If you want to know where to pen a FV4211, I can tell you. You won't hit the weak spot, but I can tell you. You know, if you want a tank in Cold War, I'll talk to you about it. But I am not informed enough to comment on the weak spots of World War II tanks. And yet, this tank is allowing me, as a non-World War II player, I don't play World War II, as I've said before, I don't play this, it's not my jam, it's not where I'm comfortable, I don't really like it that much. But for me, as a non-World War II player, I can just point the gun at a tank, pull the trigger, and do 500 damage. Or 300 damage on the low end. But let's be honest, 300 damage for just pulling the trigger, like, Really? Is that where we're at now with this game? I mean, this isn't really a concern for me so much because, like again, I'm repeating myself here, I play Cold War. So what happens in World War II, you know, it isn't really a concern for me, but this tank bothers me because it just doesn't seem to be what the game needs. I mean, 580 damage. I mean, I aimed roughly at the lower plate. I aimed roughly at the track, at the drive wheel, but it wasn't a precise shot. I wouldn't call that a perfectly aimed shot. 580 damage. And I was, you know, the Valor earlier, I shot the Valor in front and I did 500 damage to a Valor. And I remember my World War II days, MVP. I remember from my World War II days, the Valor being insanely well armoured from the front. And here I am in my little paid 6,000 gold for this tank straight up to tier 10. And here I am smashing the living life out of Valors. And this is what's got me a little bit concerned for you World War II players, is this really what tier 10 needs? I mean, is this the right direction for the game to be going in? I don't think it is. This has got me concerned enough to make a video on World War II. I can't remember the last time I made a video on World War II, but this tank has got me so concerned for the situation of the higher tiers in World War II that I'm here talking about it right now. And I don't know if I agree with Wargaming. I don't think I agree with them releasing this tank, because to be honest, if this tank were, if it were a, I don't know, a 6-month challenge reward tank that you had to complete, you know, this insane challenge, and you've got to complete that insane challenge, and then you were rewarded with this, okay, you know, fine. It's a really unique reward tank for people that have achieved something that in itself is incredibly unique. But this is a, what is it? This comes with this, I know it comes for sure with the 6,000 gold season pass. You pay 6,000 gold, get the season pass, and the AVRE will be in your garage immediately. I mean, this thing is everywhere in tier 10. I mean, I've seen screenshots from other people where there have been almost, I think it was like 9 or 10 AVREs on each team. And I know it's a new tank. There's the hype of, oh, it's a new tank, everybody play it. But still, I mean, this tank allows people with next to no skill in the game, and I'm counting myself as one of those people who have next to no skill. You know, that was an object, was that an object 780? I don't know what an object 780 is. It's been that long since I played World War II, but I didn't need to know what an object 780 was. I didn't need to know its weak points. I didn't need to know what its strengths, what its weaknesses were. I didn't need to learn the game at all to kill it. Oh, he's just there. We'll just sling a HESH round at him. Oh, there we go. Bang. 580 or 600 damage, whatever it was I did with that round. To me, it's like I know the whole point of World War II especially is you've got more stats to keep in mind. There's more to learn. There's more view ranges. You've got to learn concealment values of different tanks, and World War II in that sense is a bit more, I don't know, like it's a bit more stat orientated rather than just going out there and using the true vision mechanic, which we have in Cold War, to play the game in a slightly different way. You know, this is more stat orientated, and that to me is exactly what some World War II players are after. They want the stat related game. They want their knowledge of the game to correlate to some kind of result in game. But what I'm feeling with this tank is you don't need to know anything. All you need to know is how to hold down the left trigger and press the right trigger, and obviously aim at an enemy vehicle at the same time. You know, there you go. Damn it. Aim, pull the trigger, massive damage to, I think that was an object one, was that a 140? I think that's a tier 10 Russian medium. I think I actually have one, but Anyway, I think I'm making my point fairly clear at this point. I think there is a fundamental issue with tanks like this being released into the game, because it does completely minimize any kind of skill. And I'm saying that, and this is a rather self-deprecating video for me, because I am lumping myself into the category of people that don't know World War II very well. I don't know what the view ranges of certain tanks are. I don't know what their armor values are. I don't know how to play some of the World War II maps. I mean, I've played Highway before, many years ago, you know. We don't have this map in Cold War. I played it extensively, you know, in what are we, 2023 now, so, you know, 2020, 2019. I played it a lot when I was playing World War II, and I knew the World War II, how this map played out. I knew what to do, but now I don't. But still, as a player that doesn't know what he's doing, I do know the BAR, though, is probably one of the worst tanks in World War II, so I'm still being cautious, though. Maybe I didn't need to be this cautious, I don't know. It's just how I chose to play. And I'm lumping myself in a rather self-deprecating way, into the group of players that don't know what they're doing. And what I feel is happening here is Wargaming are taking the higher, you know, the higher echelons of the game, and they're making them accessible to absolute novices. And not only are they making these high tiers accessible to novices, they're giving these novices a tool that is literally just point and shoot. And, you know, how much damage, I didn't see how much damage that was, but that was the front end of a Russian heavy. I think it was the tier 9 Russian heavy. I know that is an incredibly well armoured Russian heavy. I didn't aim for a lower plate, I didn't aim for a weak spot, nothing. I just pointed the gun, pulled the trigger, bang, and I did damage. That's incredibly unfair to these World War II players. In my opinion, that's what I feel, and I think Wargaming really needs to reevaluate what's going on here, because these 2 games that you've seen just now, these are the first 2 games I played solo in World War II, in 2023, and in the AVRE. And I got MVP, and I got 2nd place. 4,000 something damage in the first game, just over 5,000 damage in the second game. Now, you tell me, should someone who doesn't know what they're doing in World War II be able to not only get into tier 10, but get into tier 10 and just point, shoot, do 5,000 damage? Point, shoot, do 4,500 damage? Is that what this game's about? Is this what we've come to? I really think Wargaming need to consider this carefully, and I think if they're not careful, they're going to put people off playing tier 10, and with this tank especially, tier 8 is a nightmare, because, you know, you're in your little tier 8 stock medium, you're going to get blatted, and there goes 1,400 of your health to the AVRE. I think this is a really poor move on Wargaming's part. I really think that they need to consider more carefully what they do and do not introduce into the game. And again, I'm going to say it, this is all coming from someone who plays Cold War 99.9% of the time. I really do feel for you guys that are playing World War II, especially in the higher tiers. Alright folks, that's about all I have for this one. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and as always, I hope you're all keeping well, and I'll see you out there.